Hans Wilsdorf, the founder of Rolex, made a wise choice when he decided to represent his firm with a crown in his emblem. A large portion of Rolex's immense brand equity comes from the fact that the company rarely gives anything away. It constantly tops Forbes' lists of the world's most valuable brands and consistently ranks as the number one super brand in the United Kingdom. If you poll 100 people on luxury watches, the vast majority would choose Rolex. It produces exceptional timepieces, not because of any clever advertising. We really like the many iconic Rolex models weren't merely created for its aesthetics. But for instance, the GMT-Master watch was designed for a Pan Am pilot suffering from then related new conditions known as the jet lag. Rolex sports models have a long history of popularity among the collectors because of their association with pioneers, risk takers, and sportsmen. James Bond Submariner, used in the early version of the GMT that was worn in the United States flying ace Chuck Yeager and other astronauts. Worsdorf was exceptional persistent. He placed an eager wager on the wristwatch and its four primary innovations: portability, precision, water resistance, and automaticness. Here are the 11 finest Rolexes available in 2022. Rolex Air-King. The Air-King is a fantastic watch, but is often overlooked in favor for the Submariner. It is one of Rolex's oldest collections and was introduced in 1945 as a cheap alternative for the company's more prestigious watch, Datejust. Rolex was reintroduced the Air-King in a brand new band design, a caliber of 3230, a more efficient gear train, and a power reserve of 70 hours. The fact that it is the only Rolex with the brand's signature gold and green color combination is an interesting trivia. The watch starts at $7,148. Rolex Day-Date 36. The president's watch, a blessing or a curse depending on who is in power. Vice President Biden wore a watch when he was sworn in, but he now favors an Omega. Nevertheless, a status symbol for affluent buyers, even though the whole day of the week shown at 12 o'clock is divisive. Its introduction in 1956 was no mean mechanical accomplishment. Rolex 950 Platinum models will be the first to sport a new icy blue face in 2022. And the watch fluent bezel is another technological tour de force that took many years of research to accomplish in platinum. Estimate price? TBD. Next Rolex watch is the Submariner 3. To those who are patiently awaiting the brand new Rolex, you may be waiting a while. The Sky-Dweller was Rolex's final completely redesigned watch in 2012. Before, there was a Sea Dweller in 1920 and a Yachtmaster in 1992. 1971, Rolex has found success by making small adjustments to their established watch collection on a regular basis. This explains why the announcement of the redesign of the Submariner, Rolex's most recognizable model, was one of the year's most anticipated watch launches, despite the fact that it was the first modification to the watch since 2008. However, these adjustments are not minor. Within provides increased power reserve by up 50% and to 70 hours, and the most up-to-date escapement in conclusion of a functional Rolex from the year 2020. The estimated price, $8,717. The next Rolex watch is the Rolex Oyster Perpetual. Different shades of red, yellow, pink, and green, additional to a pale blue color. The new Oyster Perpetual 36 from Rolex is available in 5 different color combinations, each of which conveys a sense of playfulness that isn't typical contact with the company. Don't worry if you hear rumors that Rolex has gone insane, but choose wisely to try to appeal of the youth today. The brand's day dates first featured pulpy, hard emerald patterns in the early 1970s. When the globe was going through multicolor phases, due to this, they are now extremely valuable. The estimated price is $5,579. The next Rolex watch is the Pepsi Edition Rolex GMT-Master 2. Even if the idea is for infancy, a GMT Rolex is the pinnacle of travel pieces. The first version, introduced in 1955, was given the nickname Pepsi due to the red and white and 24 scale on the bezel. The current black and blue version is known as the Batman. The most up to date steel modern has an ultra modern mechanism and an upscale Jubilee bracelet. Design wise, not much has changed in the past 60 years. However, this is one of those things that will always seem modern and fresh. Estimated price $10,468. The next Rolex watch is the Rolex Explorer 1016. The Explorer 1016 was manufactured over 30 years ago, before being discontinued in 1989. It was a PowerFlex shock absorbers so it could withstand more impact and was designed with the adventurers in mind. As the name indicates, however, the matte dial with its period detailed numerals is a true showstopper. Mr. Fleming had a reference 1016 in his possession. Estimated price $13,292. The next Rolex watch is the infamous Sky-Dwellers. The Sky-Dweller is a timepiece in a different league from statement watches, the most complex timepieces Rolex offers. It displays two time zones simultaneously and perpetual calendar. The newer alternative is offered in the Rolex innovated Oyster Flex bracelet, which is constructed in titanium and nickel alloyed covered in black rubber. It is incredibly comfortable to wear. Ever Rose Gold and 18 karat gold are two more novel metal choices. Even though high-end travel watches isn't necessarily the top of everyone's wish list right now, it is not to want such a beautiful creation no matter what time zone you find yourself in. The estimated price, $39,140. The next Rolex watch is the Oyster Perpetual Automatic Datejust 8. It would be easy to overlook Rolex's most basic model in favor of the most famous cousins like the Daytona, Submariner, and Explorer. But if you just had one watch for the rest of your life and you needed something that stood out without overbearing, this would be it. The Oyster Perpetual has been around for decades. It has been given a facelift in 2015 that includes a larger 39mm case, an oyster bracelet, and a series of dials polished by a hand in blue, grape, red, and black. Estimated price $5,932. The next Rolex watch is the Daytona Cosmography. The most expensive timepiece ever sold at an auction was a Paul Newman Daytona from 1968, which was bought for $17.8 million. If you're searching for the most sophisticated Rolex has ever manufactured, this is the iteration strikes an ideal balance between the past and the present. The watch has a long storied reputation and is universally adored. Estimated price $34,134. The next Rolex watch is the Submariner Date 10 Rolex. The green bezel surrounds the green dial, which features large lume-fill hour markers and reads Oyster Perpetual Submariner Date in Oyster steel. You may call it the Rolex Hulk if you like. When it was first released in 2010, it sparked a revolution in the watch industry. Not only is it the green striking, but it also changes from a vivid shade to a deep green depending on the lighting. Estimated price $10,350. The next and last Rolex watch that we will be speaking about is Rolex Datejust 11. Likely the most well-liked Rolex ever made, released in 1945 to mark the 40-year anniversary of the watchmaker. It also marked the first experience of a now iconic Jubilee bracelet. The name derives from one of Rolex's signature neologisms, and the date changes at midnight, making it the first timepiece which was automatically changing date. Estimated price $7,907.